Have any intentions of really trading any of them? I don't know if this is in the rules. I don't really care. But I think we've already discussed we are going to trade coaches. Fee's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it. It's going to be amazing. Sorry, WNBA, if that's not in the rule. Sorry, ESPN, if that's not in the rules. But we just made it a rule. So, Sandy Brondello, come on over.
The WNBA All-Star Game just had its wildest moment, yet Caitlin Clark made history by trading away her own coach, and Sabrina Ionescu's reaction was absolutely priceless. But here's what most people missed. This move wasn't just about basketball. It was a statement. Caitlin was sending a message that could shake up the entire league. What do you think was really behind her bold decision to swap coaches? Let us know in the comments.
If that's not in the rule, sorry ESPN if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule. So Sandy Brondello, come on over.
Whoa!
Let's get to it. You can coach Sabrina. So therefore, maybe Stewie wants to come on over to my team.
Whoa!
Let me know. Fee, you want to give me Stewie?
We have breaking news here. I don't know that I've heard of a coach being traded in the All-Star game. This is something that you're agreeing to, Fee. There's no terms to this deal.
I agree with Cheryl. I agree with the trade. I love Cheryl. She's my coach here. And you know what? That's just going to be worse for Team Clark because now we got more chemistry on our side. We got more synergy. We know what we expect from each other. So that was a bad move on your part, Caitlin. We're taking you down.
Let's break down what really happened at the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game Draft because, honey, that wasn't just some random trade. That was calculated chaos, executed to perfection.
Maybe it's going to be the X Factor. The coaches are maybe going to be the X Factor.
Hey, Sandy, defending champion, loves to shoot threes, lets her players get after it. I don't know. I'm feeling good with Sandy and Sabrina on my team. Like I said, if you want to send Stewie over too, I'll take her. So
what's the offer? What's the offer for Stewie?
What's the offer?
Now picture this. You're watching what's supposed to be a light-hearted, fun all-star draft, then boom. Caitlin Clark drops a bombshell that nobody saw coming. She straight-up traded Cheryl Reeves for Sandy Brondello, making history as the first player in WNBA history to pull off a coach swap. The audacity absolute chef's kiss, but here's where it gets real juicy. Sabrina Ionescu's reaction iconic. The moment she realized she'd be back under her New York Liberty coach Sandy Brondello on Team Clark, no less she hit her with the line of the night, "You can't escape me." That smirk legendary. You could practically hear the collective gasp from everyone watching.
What was your favorite play individually tonight with the 3 blocks and also the offense? What was your favorite play for you and Coach? You may have been involved in the first ever coach trade of any All-Star game ever. Just want to get your thoughts on that in your mind. First for you, Leo.
Dan Osted? Yeah. That you got traded? Yeah. Oh, I got to go looking on that. Traded? I have no idea what the teams are. Second time in history now. Jeez, as a player.
Let's be real about what this move really meant. This wasn't some spur-of-the-moment call. Caitlin knew exactly what she was doing when she gave Cheryl Reeves the boot. The history between those two. Yeah, it's far from sunshine and rainbows. And anyone who's been paying attention in the basketball world knows the tension has been bubbling for a while.
Got traded, yes. My son hit me up after he goes, I've created history. This is awesome. I got traded as a coach. But look, I get to coach with Sabrina. I'm on Caitlin Clark's in Indianapolis. I mean, what a great show. So we'll go out there and have some fun.
Remember when Caitlin got snubbed from the Olympic roster? Yep, Cheryl Reeves was Team USA's head coach at the time. That whole situation was messier than a preschooler's finger painting. And to top it off, Reeves threw some not-so-subtle shade, suggesting the WNBA's focus on Clark was getting out of hand. Broad daylight shade, no less so. When Caitlin pulled off that coach trade, it wasn't just about swapping sidelines. It was a power move, a message loud and clear. You didn't want me on your Olympic team? Cool. Then you don't get to coach me at the All-Star game, either. The level of petty. Absolutely legendary.
Right here, Betty.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited. It's never happened to me before, so this is the first time. Obviously, super comfortable being able to go there with a coach that loves me, and I'm really excited to be able to just kind of share that together. I mean, I think it's obviously an honor to be able to go with my teammate, but also the coaching staff and everyone. Like, it's a time to celebrate, obviously, our accomplishments, but hers as well. Like, it's not easy to be like a top coach and have to go do that. So I'm excited to kind of be able to spend that all together.
And then you're on Clark, and Brianna's obviously on Collier. Caitlin tried to trade for her at the end, but it fell through at the last minute. Are you guys going to make any like deals or bets on the game between teammates, or what's that going to be like to be foes for a day?
It'll be weird. Maybe we'll just allow each other to trade off baskets and shoot. But no, I mean, the All-Star Game's always fun. It's not that competitive, and it's just kind of you get to go out there, enjoy, have fun, and just kind of celebrate the accomplishment.
Let's talk about Sandy Brondello's reaction, because that woman handled the whole situation like the absolute class act she is. When she found out she'd been traded to coach Caitlin's team, she was genuinely amused. In fact, her own son texted her saying she'd just made history as the first coach ever traded in an all-star format. Imagine getting that text, "Mom, you're famous for getting traded." Iconic. And the drama, it was live. The whole thing got approved during the July 8th draft, right there on air. You could almost feel ESPN scrambling behind the scenes. Do they panic, or just lean in and enjoy the ratings gold? Meanwhile, Caitlin just looked into the camera and said, "Sorry WNBA, if that's not in the rules. Sorry ESPN, if that's not in the rules, but we just made it a rule." The confidence unmatched. The sass off the charts. Restructuring an entire all-star format live on national TV? That's main character energy, no question. And then there's Sabrina Ionescu. Her being part of this whole moment just made it even better. First, she gets picked by Clark. Then, surprise, her coach Sandy Brondello is tagging along too. Her line, "You can't escape me," wasn't just a joke. It was the cherry on top of a moment that rewrote the All-Star playbook in real time. Playful banter, absolutely. But Sabrina's "You can't escape me" wasn't just a joke. It was a nod to the chemistry she and Brondello have built with the Liberty. Think about it from Sabrina's perspective. She's been coached by Brondello all season, knows her playbook inside and out, and thrives in her system. Now she's rolling into the All-Star game, surrounded by elite talent, with a coach who already knows how to unlock her full potential. That's not luck, that's strategic brilliance. But let's get into the real tea, what this moment says about player empowerment in today's WNBA. Caitlin Clark, in just her second year as a pro, didn't just make a bold move, she straight up rewrote the All-Star game format because she felt like it. No asking for permission. No carefully crafted PR move. Just unapologetic action. That's the kind of energy that shifts culture and shakes up entire leagues. And the timing couldn't have been better. We're in an era where players are louder, prouder, and more willing than ever to challenge norms, advocate for themselves, and reshape the game on their terms. Caitlin didn't just make a trade, she made a statement. So many angles. Caitlin's trade wasn't just about personal tension with Cheryl Reeves, it was a direct challenge to traditional structures in the WNBA. She wasn't just stirring the pot for fun. She was setting a precedent. Even in an exhibition game, players can and should have agency over their circumstances. And let's talk ripple effects. Napheesa Collier, who plays under Reeves for the Minnesota Lynx, ended up on the opposing team. So while her actual coach was on the other sideline, she had to compete against her. Awkward, maybe. But it also created this delicious kind of chaos, where team loyalties blurred and well-established dynamics got scrambled, if only for one night. The media's response? All over the place. Some tried to brush it off as harmless fun. But others saw it for what it truly was, a power move wrapped in charm and delivered with a smile. Caitlin Clark didn't just trade a coach, she flexed her influence, proved she knows how to work the system, and made it entertaining as hell. Sabrina's reaction added another layer. Her "you can't escape me" line wasn't some petty jab, it was a moment of levity that also underscored the close-knit, deeply respectful relationships in the WNBA. These women compete fiercely, but they also support, understand, and challenge each other in ways that elevate the whole league. And then there's the Sandy Brondello angle. Her calm, amused response in the face of becoming all-star trade history that speaks volumes about her professionalism and adaptability. She embraced the moment, leaned into it, and became part of a headline-making event without losing her cool. In a league that's evolving fast, Brondello showed she can move with it gracefully. Bottom line, this wasn't just a funny moment. It was a seismic shift dressed up as entertainment. And Caitlin Clark may have just unlocked a new era of player-driven influence in the W. We're still fresh, and Caitlin Clark's move felt like a direct response to all of it. The snub from the Olympic roster, the subtle jabs from Cheryl Reeves, the media noise, it all built up to this moment. And instead of venting frustration through interviews or passive-aggressive social posts, Caitlin let her actions speak for her. One calm, confident trade and the entire basketball world was buzzing. From a coaching perspective, Sandy Brondello found herself in unfamiliar territory, coaching a roster packed with elite talent, many of whom she hadn't worked with before, including Caitlin, the most talked-about player in the game right now. But instead of flinching, she leaned in. That's the hallmark of a great coach: adaptability, professionalism, and a genuine excitement for new challenges. She embraced the spotlight without trying to control the narrative, letting her calm demeanor balance out the chaos. And Caitlin, the way she announced it, "We're trading coaches," like she was ordering a latte, that nonchalant delivery was almost more shocking than the trade itself. No grand speech, no drama, just pure confidence. It showed that she wasn't trying to create a spectacle, she was the spectacle. Fan reactions naturally split down the middle. Caitlin Clark's stans were living for it, calling her a legend in the making. Cheryl Reeves loyalists called the move disrespectful. And the basketball traditionalists, they worried this might set a dangerous precedent. But here's the truth: exhibition games are supposed to be fun, unpredictable, and exciting. They're a break from the grind, a celebration of talent. Caitlin's move was exactly the jolt the All-Star format needed. It reminded everyone why these events exist in the first place: to entertain, to surprise, and to spotlight the players in new, unfiltered ways. Sabrina Ionescu's role in all this adds another layer of depth. She's not just a star, she's a respected veteran with credibility, leadership, and championship-caliber experience. Her reaction wasn't just comic relief, it was meaningful. When she made the "you can't escape me" comment, it wasn't just playful, it was a nod to the deep bonds and shared history within the league. The WNBA is a tight-knit community, and moments like this highlight how intertwined personal and professional relationships really are. Zooming out, this whole situation is a microcosm of where the WNBA stands in 2025. Young stars like Caitlin Clark are challenging the status quo and bringing fresh energy. Veterans like Sabrina are adapting, evolving, and still thriving. And coaches like Brondello are proving they can ride the waves of change with grace. In the end, one unexpected trade during an all-star draft turned into a cultural moment, one that sparked weeks of media coverage, fan debates, and league-wide reflection. And with Olympic snubs and shifting team dynamics in the background, the timing couldn't have been more perfect. But instead, she handled it with grace, humor, and the kind of poise that only comes from years of experience at the highest level. Sandy Brondello could have easily taken offense at being traded live on national television, as if she were just another piece in a game, but she didn't. She embraced the moment, laughed about it, and even acknowledged the surrealness of it all when her son texted her, "Mom, you just got traded." That level of composure, that's elite. And let's not forget the deeper context behind Caitlin's move. The Olympic snub, the heated debates over who deserved roster spots, the second-guessing of coaching choices, it was all bubbling just below the surface. Caitlin's coach swap wasn't in a vacuum. It was a carefully timed statement layered with history, tension, and empowerment. And that one moment, Caitlin Clark showed the world that she's not just here to play basketball, she's here to change the game. Brondello's response showed she's the kind of coach who can thrive in that changing landscape. And the WNBA? It proved once again that it's not just keeping up with the cultural moment, it is the cultural moment.